Hello, y'all. Happy Sunday. Can y'all see me? I got this camera. Well, anyway, this is grandmama coming to give you some grandma advice, okay? I want to talk to the single ladies about how to navigate around your friend's husband. You know, a lot of times us single women, we have friends, girlfriends, but they're married. And a lot of us have, like I just said, friends that are married, but you need to know how to navigate around your friend's husband. I was listening to a young lady talk about how her friend had who was single. Now she's married, but her friend was single, and how her friend called her husband to ask him she needed some manly advice or something, but didn't call her and let her know. You don't never do that. If you have a friend and she's married, and if you need to see her husband, ask her husband for manly advice, a man's perspective, you don't never just reach out to him. You never do that. You always reach out to that wife first. You go through the wife to get to him. I don't care what it is. I remember one time when this church was giving away boxes of food, or I think it was like sweet potatoes or something like that. So this lady, me and her good friends and her husband. So her husband, he was bringing, the boxes to different people's houses. But before he brought my box, I let her, I called the wife and let her know, look, your husband on his way to my house to bring these sweet potatoes. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know he was out doing that, but I wanted to make sure, because people be looking out their windows and be like, ooh, what is so and so doing over there? What's the name house? And they probably did it anyway. But see, the wife is already aware of that. Okay, so anytime you got to deal with your friend's husband, you reach out to the wife first. You don't go straight call the husband and say, look, I need you to come do this or show me this without even telling the wife. Mm-mm. And you don't never go to your friend's house and she ain't there. Now she work at day in the daytime on her job, and her husband may work at night, or he got a home job, computers or whatever. You don't just pop up at her house and she ain't there. You always make sure she's there. You always do stuff like that. That's how you navigate with your friend's husband. You don't do stuff like that because that don't show that you might lack a little bit of integrity, or you maybe just don't know. You don't never just reach out to the husband without going through the wife first. You don't take gift from your friend's husband. A lot of sometimes married men like to give single women money. But if they give you money, you need to make sure the wife know. That's happened to me before. I've told y'all about that. That's been on here a while. A married man tried to offer me $100, and I only had a quarter nickel and two pennies and one dime in my pocket, but I needed that $100. But I didn't accept it because, like I asked him, do your wife know you giving me this money? And so no, you don't accept gifts from your friend's husband. You got to be integral about your relationships. That's how a lot of marriages get destroyed. Even if the marriage people, your friend and her husband got issues, that don't mean for you to try to go in there and comfort her husband. That's how a lot of bishops and pastors end up getting a divorce and end up with the member, or end up with somebody else because the other woman doesn't have any integrity about herself or character about herself, and she just try to swoop on in on that woman's husband. But you got to have some integrity about yourself. You got to know how to navigate around your friend's husband. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with us women. Just cause you and Brenda, y'all might be friends, but Brenda got a husband. And you don't have access to her husband just cause you her friend. You don't do that. There's a way to go about doing everything. And a lot of times you can't just be showing up because she's married and you're single. That's two different lifestyles, okay? She got a husband, all right? But yeah, women, we got to do better about how we handle our friend when they have a husband. You never do anything, and like I said, it could be something just really innocent or whatever, but just do it with integrity. Always let the wife know. Look, I got a flat tire. I'm finna call Jim. He's my friend's husband. Call Brenda first. Brenda, I got a flat tire. Can you ask Jim to come and help me with my tire? You don't call Jim and say, "Hey, Jim." He's talking in a different voice and everything, honey. "Hey, Jim." And don't be calling him honey, baby, boo. You don't have, no, honey, that's out of order. I got a flat tire. Can you come help? No. You got to ask Jim's wife, can he come help you? Stop being sneaky and conniving. And learn how to dress around. Say if you go to Brenda and Jim's house, don't go over there in no bodycon, no dress so short, your breast all out, your cleavage all out, and her husband there. You can't show. If I had a husband, you wouldn't show up to my house with your breasts all out. Honey, I will meet you at the door. Did you forget to put your clothes on, honey? Respect these people's husband, even if she is your friend. Respect that. And I'm gonna tell you one place that got a lot of, oh honey, these work husbands, the way they be, the way they interact with these single women on these jobs, it's disgraceful. I see it all the time. It's so disgraceful. That man is married. Why you all hugging all up on him? There's a way to go about handling everything. All right? And that message ain't just for the world. That message is for the body of Christ. There's some things you just can't do. That's a married man. Even though Brenda might be your friend, she might be your best friend. But her husband's off limits to you. And there's a way you got to carry yourself. You don't show up at that woman's house inappropriately dressed and you know she got a husband. Well, that's her husband's problem. No, it ain't. It's your problem. Because you showed up half naked. Have some integrity about yourself, okay? All right? So that's all I wanted to say, honey. Learn how to navigate around your friend's husband. It's very important. A lot of stuff wouldn't go on with relationships, marriages being torn apart, friendships being ruined if people will have integrity about themselves and just do the right thing. Treat people how you want to be treated. You wouldn't want nobody else showing up at your house around your man half naked. Why you do it to somebody else? So anytime you need to talk to Jim Bob, make sure you talk to Brenda Ann first. Okay, that's how you do things. All right. Y'all have a great Sunday. Is it they say? Yeah, Sunday. Toodles.